to episode 25. Happy anniversary, guys. It's one of the main dates. You look for your 25s, you look for your 50s, your 75, and 100 would be crazy. By then, we'd for sure be getting a check, or else I'd be figuring something out. Anyway, this is thanks for your support. You know, it's a catchphrase, it's what everybody loves to bring. As everybody remembers, we are now sponsored by Holy Smoke Barbecue over here in KCK. Holy Smoke Barbecue. Dang, that stuff's good. All right. He didn't pay me for that, by the way. So, that's how we doing that. Anyway, so starting off tonight, we're going to go to the NFL. Just a couple things. We will talk briefly on the combine, a couple Chiefs free agent possibilities, conversations, and then maybe talk a little bit about some of the retreads and what their financial things are going, how it might affect um, Willis and Richardson, NBA chat, and also the KU loss. So we will start right off. Myrick, jumping out there. You also turns out you heard it too. There was discussions about Richardson possibly what scenario you would like him coming to the Chiefs, and I'll kind of go off both of you guys. I'll chime in here and there with that. And also, one more thing. Sorry. What do you think about Tremaine Edwards? If you remember when we discussed in the meeting some of his stats, if you remember off the top of the head, in his 8 years, he's got 8.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 14 picks in his time. He's a little bit more of a playmaking linebacker. Although one caveat is he slightly injury prone. He averages more of a 14 games than a 16 and 17 game. So if you want to just go through that.
Okay. Well, I'll start off with the Chiefs, the Richardson deal. When I first heard it, I was like, why? My first initial reaction was, why? Why would you do that? And I think I was because Richardson was a starter, and then you bring him in, and then you want to sit him behind Patrick, and then I'm like, they're kind of the same age wise, but then started looking at the talent gap, and then it's huge. So Richardson hasn't really matured, I want to say, as far as like taking that next step, and it may be because he hasn't gotten to play, but it's like we were saying in the meeting, we were all saying like he's kind of like, I really got to go in, I really got to play, I really do I really have to go in? It's kind of that scenario. So the the situation that you bring him in is okay. So maybe Pat can't go first three or 4 weeks. Bring him in. He plays that. He gets you through that first 3 or 4 weeks, and then he gets to sit down, learn and sit in with Andy Reeves and learn and find a place and see things and grow. And it may be a situation where he may never set field on a start for the Chiefs again, but it helps him like I don't want to be that guy to be like, well, he needs to play for the Chiefs. He came for the Chiefs, blah blah blah, whatever. But if he gets to grow, because I want to see him do good, because I believe he has the talent and he has enough um um skills to go forth and be a quality quarterback. If he goes somewhere else after leaving the Chiefs or whatever, and he gets another shot, I'm all good with that. I just want to see him do good. I think coming here and refreshing again, I think he'll do good.
All right. What are your thoughts on just the Richardson part? So,
Um, I think it's worth, as long as you don't have to give much to get him. I feel like I think that might refresh Andy Reid and some of the offensive staff there also. They'll create a new game plan just for him. You might see quarterback run heavy for a couple weeks if he was here. If you need him to fill in for 2 to 3 weeks, um, where they're not putting a lot of pressure on him to throw it, they're just trying some things. They'll have a new running back, so we might see a new they might reinvent themselves. You know what I mean? And then when Patrick comes back, you got a few more packages, you got a few more plays, some things maybe you can pass on with Patrick as far as whatever. Um, but it might just open the offense up a little bit, and then maybe you can flip him. Like Myrick said, maybe he'll never see the field again, but maybe you can get something for him after the end. I kind of like when people are forced to try new things, and it won't force Andy Reid, but him bringing him in is him taking a challenge to make himself do things. So it could be a good thing for him if you want to look at it that way.
I got to tell you, that was between both of those. Those were quite inspiring takes, because that actually made it. Because I was completely against it when I heard it, but when it was brought up with mixes of both what you said, I do like it. Mark, you had brought up early in the season about both of you guys had discussed, especially I thought Mark, you might have brought it up first, the fact that you know you know, has the league caught up to Andy? Because it's like our receivers cannot be this bad. It's just impossible for you to say those guys are just that bad. We see the bunch sets and all that stuff, but it's like, are they like we just understand the dynamic of where you're trying to go with the ball at certain times. And so that leaks into what you just said. That makes them kind of open up different plays. Mark, you had brought in, or I think, no, I think Amani had brought up when we were talking the fact that they had taken away the quarterback sneak because his knee fell off that one year, and so it was one of those things to where it's like, you know what, if it works out like we said, it's a fourth round pick. You can it tweaks the offense. He actually doesn't play bad if, which we don't want. Patrick has to miss some time, and the best not least, like people love to do, we able to flip him for a two, either week 8 or at the end of the year if we give him a 2-year contract. It actually would be cool. Now we all agree, is it needed? No, right? We're just
Right.
speaking at
No,
if it happened. That's the only scenario that makes
it's
sense.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Myrick, or actually, Cy, we'll go back to you and Myrick, you next. What do you think about the Tremaine Edwards linebacker? Willie Gay never really truly panned out, but I at least felt consistently with him in the game. The swing passes to the running backs, he wasn't make a bunch of plays on them, but he was able to make plays on them consistently. At least you weren't getting yards, or he was able to tip it away. So I don't remember us really having a quote playmaking linebacker since Derek Johnson. What are your thoughts on having a dude like Tremaine Edwards? Are you too afraid of, he is 28. He does stay banged up. You might get, a guy who's, hurt too much.
Okay, so it's worth the risk again if you don't have to give up too much, right? If you have to give up too much, I don't think it's worth it because he does seem like he misses some time, but he's a playmaker.
Well, you mean pay him too much? He is a free agent, by the way.
Well, I thought it was a. I thought he. Okay, yeah. I thought it was like to seek a trade or something, but um, if it either or,
Yeah.
um, you don't want to have to pay too much because it seems like he does miss time.
Yeah.
Why does it say here seek a trade? But okay.
Well,
Um,
well, then my bad, my bad. He might not be. I thought because it was brought up, so it might be. I don't want to. Yes, I don't want
okay.
to. I don't want to say that
Yeah,
per se.
but regardless, you don't want to be maxing out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then having your guy miss 5 games. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because only if he misses 5, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen every year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but he's a need. You need it. You need that player and that productivity.
Definitely.
So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the alternative would be. There's somebody, but
Yeah.
he's a good player. You know what I mean? So,
Which
I like
rolls?
to see him here.
Huh?
I'd like to see him here if they did it, but that's a risk. It's risky.
So that rolls us over into the combine. Um. Uh. Shout out to the Styles dad and mom. Great job. You guys are set for life. Uh, it's not funny, but you could set up a stud farm. I was just joking, but yeah, they showed up and showed out. So it walks you into a couple things. Monty's running back. It walks you into Styles as the linebacker. He should be able to be a playmaking type of linebacker. It gives you a couple other guys who stood out there. Maybe, we just talked about Richardson, that 10th slated QB who ran the 4.2. There's no way he's a first day pick, but with the athleticism, probably around that third and fourth round, people are going to be like, hey, we can, put something together for that.
Yeah, yeah,
So what are
bro.
you, what are your thoughts, or anybody in the combine kind of sticking out to you right now?
So I mean, of course, the Styles brothers and the quarterback. Oh, what's his name from Arkansas? Right, that's where he was
Yes.
at,
Yeah. Green.
bro. Bro, he
Taylor
that's
Taylor
ridiculous.
Taylor Taylor Green.
Yeah, the broad jump, the vertical is like 43 and a half. Like
Six
he was,
five. He's almost 6'5" and 7/8", 227 pounds.
bro, bro. When you build them on Madden, that's
Yeah,
what it looked like.
that's what it looks like.
That's what it looked like, bro. It's like there's other places we could go with this on that, but he's a freak. He's
Yes.
a freak, bro. But yeah,
Oh, and he can dunk on you. 43.5-inch vert.
yeah, bro. He catching every lob. You know he
Yeah.
got a crazy high school mixtape, but
Yes.
whatever. Like all them stick out to me. Um, I didn't hear much about any of the big physical receivers,
Yeah.
but I mean, I know the Chiefs are doing their work. They need to find one of those. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So they don't have to go overpay for like a Mike Evans or somebody like that. But as
Yeah.
far as the combine, of course, those names stick out because they just stick out, man. They went out there and showed out.
Yeah.
So
And right now, actually, go ahead and keep going. But while you're saying that, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the wide receivers just so we can have a couple things to look at. So,
so
yeah.
are we gonna have the same conversation nationally about quarterbacks that don't throw at the combine when Shador didn't throw at the combine and it was a big deal? You know what I mean?
That's good. I liked what you did there. I like what you did there. I definitely think that they need to do something because um it'll just scream once again their narrative. It'll scream the racial bias, obviously,
Yeah.
if that goes on. But to me, more of the first is what it actually be. He's a hot name. That a lot to me, so much of that was cloaked in Dion stuff and Shador's type of personality than it was the latter for me, but it still is what it is. And I even looked at the running back same way. He walked out there. He did an awesome 40. He did one more, and then he's really not going to do much else. And he's already said he's not even going to do his pro day. You know what I'm saying? So he's already trying to say, "Oh, I'm Jameer Gibbs." We don't know that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, some of this stuff that goes on, we'll see. Um, as we got to I pulled up the receivers from the combine, the top ones actually this year. Man, this thing is trash. Brennan Thompson ran a 4.2. Xavier Thomas ran a 4.2. Actually, we're talking about big receivers, so I need pause their sizes. I,
Yeah, because the Chiefs need a,
yeah,
they
they need
have
more of a
speed.
physical.
Get speed every year. They need that.
So I'm a start in the 4.3s because I mean you talking about if he's like that. All right, we got one right now. There's Deshaun Stribling. He's 6'2", 207. He ran a 4.3. He's from Mississippi.
Yeah, okay.
That's not bad size. Six
Well, and
six
yeah,
foot one
Mississippi.
eighty nine.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one. Now he might be a little thin, but seeing how we'd have to watch some tape. Chris Braswell the second. He's 6'4", 198. He ran a 4.3. That's at least he might be able to be a boundary guy, right?
6'4",
6'4".
198.
Yeah, that's thin. It's thin. It's thin. But you remember dead Chris Henry?
Yeah,
6'3", 206. What about that? From Texas Tech, Caleb Douglas.
yeah.
He ran a 4.39.
What about the one from Notre Dame?
Notre Dame. Um, right now,
He
like I said,
Fields.
I'm just on the 40 list. So
Okay.
as I'm scrolling down the 40s, right now I am not seeing okay, Malachi Fields 461. 6'4", 218. So that's exactly what I'm afraid of with those dudes. Now 4.6 ain't awful. Like I said, that doesn't indicate anything. We would have to actually then go to his, to be fair, we would have to go to his 3 cone and his shuttle, stuff
Right.
like yeah, and there you go. He actually is in the top four in the 3 cone with
Okay.
6.98. And then when I go to the shuttle, he is also up there he is in the top four there as well with a 4.35. Vinny Anthony from Wisconsin did a 4.07. So he must
What?
be a water bug. He's 6'1", 183. Yeah, he did
He ran what?
4.07 in the 20-yard shuttle. The next closest is a 4.1, then it goes to a 4.2, a 4.3, and then Malachi had 4.35. So consider where he is with it. Like he ain't a water bug, but he's quicker than his size.
Right. But
Yeah,
can
so
you
there.
add from the a second and goal from the six?
Yeah,
Can we get you one on one and throw you something in you know what I mean on a fade in the end zone?
yeah. So at least when we look at it, I'm looking at his production score. He's 70, and his athletic score is a 72. Um, and his total score is 74. So it's 21st. But I'm not going to break it down right here of their strengths and weaknesses, but they at least did compare him to Michael Pittman Jr. Michael Pittman Jr. is a legitimate starting who, when we think about him, he is a possession receiver.
He yeah,
So
yeah.
if he can be Michael Pittman Jr., I'll take that.
Oh, I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Uh
I'm with it.
Florida State had a big receiver this year. I don't know if he came out though. I can't Johnny something, but I meant to check on him. I didn't get to check on him because he was a good six
Florida
six.
State.
Yes.
I'll
I
go
don't
back.
know if he came out this year, but um
Just scrolling down, I am not
he
seeing
he,
a
he
Florida
might have been
State. Hey, I do
he
see in the 40. I do see a KU dude real quick. Hold on, real quick. Let me slide back up here.
oh yeah,
Emmanuel
Grim.
Henderson.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say Luke Grimm.
Nah, man, hey, I went to the 40 time. Remember? Yeah, Henderson Jr. went 6'1", 185. He ran a 4.4, but he also got lower athletic grades. Yeah, he's in the 60s. So,
Okay.
but anyway, um, we got some maybe even next week or next weekend it'll be done. We can come back to that
Okay.
because the combine will really be done. Remember, it's still going, so
Yep.
all the
Yep.
things aren't in. We can pull up. We can go back to it and pick some things. So we can look at the running backs. We can look at the receivers. To me, I think we should look at the definitely D linemen and the some corners. So we can all kind of look at there and maybe I'll put it in the chat. Pick 5 guys. I don't actually. We'll keep it to 3. Keep pick three, two, five. If you just five guys that really got you, and you ain't talking about burgers, that was poor, but I had to do it. Then go ahead and give five. But we'll say three guys that stood out at least for you that you think could contribute to the Chiefs at wherever position they are.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
So rolling over to the league, to the association, as they say. Just looking at the standings here real quick. Nothing overly has changed. The Pistons are still over their last 10, are 8-2. Celtics as well. The West, Okie is 6-4, but and San Antonio is actually 10-0 in their last 10, despite the hate that I threw at Wimby the other day. Which do you not agree on? Just in the sense of this, when they like to throw around stuff, I don't know. I know you're not huge on social media, but they like joking about, oh, he's going to be the next GOAT. Now they're obviously talking about down the line, but this instant breakfast place that we're in right now, we always want to talk about how great people are. And when you are the biggest, well, you are the tallest, excuse me, guy in the league, well, that plays, and you're giving me back to back 12 pointers. Do I want to be the type of idiot that says, well, I ignored that I just said they're 10-0 and they're playing good team ball? No. But I also want my star to be a star. And even though we are a team, and it's not about leadership, we are when it gets hot, you probably lean on your number one draft pick, right? And so if
Yeah.
he's giving me 12 points, yeah, the 5 blocks are great. Yeah, we won. But dog, you're not KD right now. I need you at times. I now this is a league take kind of. I'm tired of the it's okay, just keep shooting. You played ball more, if not more than me. Do you not believe in when you're cold, try to do something else or get to the hole? Is that not a thing?
That no, that's a thing. That's what he needs to be doing. Now, if you tell Clay Thompson it's okay, keep shooting,
That's different.
that's a different story.
Yeah.
But if you're my guy, if you're Giannis, if you're Joker, if you're Wimby, that can't be you broke. You gotta get in the paint, you gotta get to the line,
Yeah.
you gotta do other
You
things.
can't you can't end the night essentially. It's like what happened. Oh, it wasn't my night. It was 2 for 16. Nah,
Right.
man. I used to because I like when I watched. I used like Tim Hardaway was one of my favorite players who would regularly do that kind of stuff. And deep down, when I go back to it, not just because I was watching the games, I've always been huge on box scores. It's a gang of threes. And when you go to it's like you was cold from three and you just kept pulling. Now I
Yeah.
know that's the league's thing, and that's fine to a point as a team. If we're all gonna be broke for the night, then that's what it was gonna be for the Houston Rockets. But it's the style of play. It's like you guys were in it, and then you took what was it, 26 consecutive threes when I talk about the Rockets, and it's like that's why you lost because you wouldn't do anything else. And so it's cool not to go away from the concept of hey, we put up the threes. That's what you do. But when you're cold, it's your turn. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
ain't might not. I'm not personally going to put you up a 1 for 8 night. I ain't doing it.
Right.
When I get to 1 for 4, I'm a watch you going from the free throw line or a couple lay-ins, and
Right.
then you might get me 1 for 6. Once I get to that, or yeah, 1 for 4. Once I get to 1 for 5, I'm shaking my. You kick it out. I'm taking that step in. I'm like, it ain't happening.
Now sometimes do you do see a 3 for 17, and it's like, man, bro was missing layups. He was missing. There was just a lid on the bucket.
But that's different. That's not what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
To me, there's a difference in, like I said, live. That's a live and die by the three thing. That's a you die by the three.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yes, we've all had it. Hey, anybody who's played ball said they've never had several cold stretches or games like you lying. So you can't explain it. You holding form, you concentrating, you stepping, you going only to your spots. I mean, you doing
Right.
everything. It's like, man,
I got to the rim and it rolled out still.
it rolled.
Everything.
Hey,
Yeah.
you say everybody, you start sagging off. Stay in it, dog. Stay in it. Nah, man, this is crazy. You should have seen me yesterday. Son. He was here.
Hey. My hamstring hurt anyway, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and sit it down, bro.
Exactly. All right. You got anything else going on in the league? Your Knicks are still 6-4. The Cavs have lost two in a row, but once again, I don't know through injury or rest. Mitchell and Harden ain't playing.
Neither one of them. Neither one of them. And they
So
was actually in the end. They could have. They almost who they play the last game.
yeah, and I saw they almost won.
They almost pulled it out. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, what's going on here? But yeah, I don't know.
And then the Lakers. Once again, to me, it's a team thing. If you want to be individual, you're honestly only going to talk about the person you don't like. It's not going to be a true take in a sense of oh, it's all on Luca or it's all on Reeves or it's all on LeBron or it's a whole calamity of foolishness. The roster has flaws. Once again, the main three starters don't play defense. We all have agreed when we talk about the Lakers. Everybody's got a different lineup that we prefer. And granted, obviously, we're not JJ Redick, so we have no say in it. But I don't. I just truly don't believe the Lakers are as bad as they're just. They just.
No,
There's just they're just not being done right because it's some of it's the coaching, some of it's the players in that defense. I obviously what 50 60% is the players in that defense, and then the rest is just I don't know. I don't know how healthy Reeves actually is. They finally put him back in the starting lineup, and he ain't really doing a lot. LeBron took more shots than him, but I didn't watch that game live. I mean, I'm gonna watch some of this Golden State game that they're up early on 10-2. So,
you
but
talking about the Phoenix game?
huh? Yeah, yeah,
The Phoenix game?
yeah,
Yeah, man. And at the end of the game, he had LeBron at center, playing center, so he's low man helping. Luca, they run the play. Of course, Luca gets blown by. LeBron comes to help. Somebody else got to rotate. Corner man three open. That's how they lose the game. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But why is LeBron playing center? If you they had called a timeout. Nick, I listened to Nick Wright on First Things First,
yeah,
and he said he was like, "Man, you should have took Luke out. You got to treat him like Steph. At that last possession, take him out
yeah.
because
Because that's if it's I like in the sense of what you're saying, it's a defensive possession.
yeah,
Yeah,
there was a timeout right before that, so it wasn't in the floor of the game. They could have took him out. They've got him in. They've got Laravia in. They've got LeBron playing center. Why not have Jackson Hayes at center? LeBron playing, Marcus Smart, Vando. It's a defense, and you got a timeout left. So if you get it, call a timeout.
yeah, yeah,
So it was that was bad, man, because the whole rotate, it was an easy blow by.
yeah,
Easy.
yeah.
So
And it was another one of those things to where people get lost in their takes, and they're like, "Oh, well, Luca had to hold him." All right, well, DeAndre Ayton had 2 points. I'm not going to get away from consistency. LeBron and Reeves just didn't shoot that well. Okay, that makes sense to me. Aiden playing 23 minutes, taking 3 shots, getting 4 rebounds is not okay. It's
right,
just not okay because I've got
right.
Jackson Hayes here, who also any given Sunday doesn't know what he's doing, but he had 8 rebounds and a block shot and was plus 16, while DeAndre had his and he was negative 24. You can't hate on LeBron and them because LeBron was plus 5 and they were plus 9, the other stars. So when you even boil it down and you watch the game, so you got to see where they were missing some things. It's like this stuff shouldn't be happening. You're losing
Shouldn't
three
be.
games in a row, and like I said, it's still on the players, but you're just doing stupid stuff. And if you
And I know
lose,
I was watching it, man. When LeBron, they take LeBron out, they were up like 10 or 11 points.
yeah,
And when they put him back in, they was down three. You know what I'm saying?
and they're
His
once
normal
again,
break.
and this once again is going to be the who Golden State Warriors game because you got Draymond, Santos, Melton, Moody, and Podzimensky out there. Yes, we know who they are, but come on, man, ain't nobody like. If they weren't playing the Lakers, this game shouldn't be on TV. The Lakers
No,
actually should beat this team by 20 points. They're not, because
no.
between Gary Payton or Horford or somebody ridiculous, somebody off the bench is gonna hit them up.
And it's gonna be an 8 point game halfway through the fourth quarter, and they're gonna have to close it out.
Playing desperate ball. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So yeah, the NBA is looking crazy. But yeah, the top is the top. It's gonna be so difficult for the top of the East and top of the West. I'll still push for your Knicks. But because like I said, I do agree. Well, I don't remember you're giving me your opinion, but I know you probably do. I do agree with the sense of I think they can get the Celtics. I don't know about the Pistons. I think because of the veteran, I think you'd lean more on veteran play to say why they beat the Pistons. But I think the Celtics could. I think they could take the Celtics.
take the Celtics because you got to go in the playoff series. You got to go big. You got to have Cat and Robinson out. They can't contain. Man, Robinson will eat up the offensive rebounds against
Oh
them.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So you gotta. They'll take the Celtics. I don't know about the Pistons though. That's tough.
That's tough, especially Duran looking healthy. He's starting to have some monster games.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
Cleveland will be a problem. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. And who do you think Cleveland could be a problem to? Like to Cleveland can be a problem to the Knicks and the Cleveland's the one ace hole with health because that's the only real problem. Cleveland can be a threat to both.
I think so.
Okay, okay, and I actually wouldn't argue that with health either because, like I said, you have rim protection. You also have big men between because of Mobley can score. You've
Yep.
got if Mitchell's not super hot, Harden hopefully it seems like he's reinvigorated to do something, and they have some depth on that team. So okay, I do agree. I do agree that, but we're so used to Cleveland not being healthy, you just kind of forget about them sometimes.
Right.
All right, and then last but not least, moving over tonight, unfortunately, to the Big 12, where KU took the L. It's kind of worked out the way you had discussed anyway, in the sense that KU is they're a weekend team. They up and down. If they play a good team at home, they can catch them. If they play a good team on the road, then you might get beat by 23. And today, the number one thing that just stuck with me was just the big men. Our big men. Yes, um, Krevis and Berries were the main guy who were getting it, but Krevis, just like last game, he started out down low, killing them. And then even on offense, like I said about Bedinga, he tries. You saw him. He's got that nice little spin game. He'll come. He wants that hook, so he'll fake with the right hook, get the dribble, spin around, and try to come around with it. But you saw one of them. It looked like he threw a grenade up there, and I'm like, so he just doesn't have true touch around the basket yet. Tiller got clown. The big men were so ineffective. We are looking at they combined for 6 rebounds and 2 blocks. That's what they combined for in 2 of 11 shooting. And if you're gonna give me 4 points, and I just give you because remember they don't, they're not a huge 3-point shooting team. So if you look at what they were doing around that basket with Krevis and Pete coming in for the rebounds, it was bad.
Yeah.
So also, White and Council was very cold starting. White, he busted some threes late. Like they weren't consistent. They weren't bad though. I was comfortable with what they did because the, before the half and right after half, we were Peterson got hot and that got us
Yeah.
back into the game. So because I think we got to down by what, one?
Two. Yep.
We got to two, and then they went on another because we started the game on the what 19-4 run or something crazy, 20-6 run, and then Peterson after the half got us right back to two, and then they
Yep.
went on another what 20 or something crazy point run,
Yep.
and then it was just a wrap. So, what was your thoughts looking at that game and heading into the Big 12? And one more thing, it at least was good because Iowa State, number 4 Iowa State, got beat by Texas Tech without old boy's brother.
right. But so it is good Iowa State got beat, but it's bad because Texas Tech won.
Yeah, gotcha.
You know,
Okay, it was
so
fool's gold.
you know what I'm saying. So, but as far as the game, it goes to like, and they're gonna give effort. But if they play a team with quality bigs and quality guards, it's hard for them to beat them because they don't have enough bigs to compete with teams with real bigs like Arizona, Duke, Michigan. These teams that have these bigs. Even last week when they played Cincinnati, that was a big team.
Hmm.
6'7" guard, a 6'11" forward, a 7 foot forward, and it just caused problems. Even though Cincinnati's not a good team, it was just a matchup problem.
Yeah.
So the lack of real size that they have, because the perimeter they're fine. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
It's just that when they get out rebounded or when teams put that fear into Flory, where he's like you said throwing up grenades and stuff, because Taylor's not really going to battle in the paint anyway.
No.
It's Flory or nothing.
Yeah.
Uh, the rebounding and all that
48
is
to
going to be
26 as you're
so
speaking.
lopsided. It's going to be so
That's
lopsided.
crazy.
And now you got to sink in the paint, like I said before, because the dude got the little hook and you got all
Hmm.
these guys rebounding. Now you got 3-point shooters. And Arizona don't even shoot that many threes.
Nope.
When Iowa State got going, though, and you had to sink in, dudes started just draining them.
Yeah.
So those are going to be the problems. If they can, even good teams like Houston and teams like that, their bigs aren't that dominant. So
Mhm.
KU can they can handle that.
Yeah.
It's really the cream of the crop that they're going to struggle with. Those teams that have those bigs and some shooting, they can't withstand it. You know what I mean? Um, so as far as the Big 12, I don't know what's that dropping. Are they fifth now?
Now that puts us, yes, fifth, tied with Iowa State at 11-5. But they have the Iowa State. Must have the tiebreaker on us.
They must have a tiebreaker on them, right?
Something, because yeah, they have them there, but we are both 11-5. But tied 3 games back. I don't know how they got that, but Houston and Texas Tech the same boat. They have Houston and Texas Tech are both 12-4, and they say they're 2 games back. Just speaking on Arizona, and then the same with Iowa State and KU. We're both 11-5. So I don't know how that works out because now that you mention it, I mean, wait, that's not true because we beat it was a home and away thing, correct? If I remember right.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know.
They might go to I don't know, like strength or common opponents, or I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but
Oh,
and
I
that
know,
that doesn't matter because it only affects the Big 12 tournament, and none of all that matters is to take you how it feels on how we'll play against them. The seeding ain't really gonna matter. It's how you gonna play once you play them.
or really, you got to get that top four to get that double bye.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Yes.
So they got to get in the top four. And Arizona plays Iowa State this week. So if Arizona beats Iowa State, that'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Cool, cool. Well, like I said, we will next week or we will discuss some combine stuff, some draft info. Once again, looking at the Chiefs and maybe some players around the league, not necessarily for other teams, but just what you think they could be as in the league. If anything happens in the association, we will cover that. If some of those uh, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 teams start to ascend or decline if any injuries. And we, of course, depending on how KU looks going out, we can. And spring training will be starting. So maybe we can see what's going on with some of this Royal stuff. Because we're looking at, we got to at least be 500 again this year. Ain't no
Got
turning back.
right,
Cool, cool.
right.
All right. So everything been good with you?
Yeah.
All right. All
Yep.
right. Same here, man. I had a great time, man. I know you got the girls. They're older, so you talk to them because they still around. And man, talked to mine for like an hour yesterday. It was crazy. It was crazy. It It was some good stuff too. It was some good stuff. We'll have to talk off the air because it was some good stuff. Talking about
Okay.
young Charles when he was baby about it, just watching the foolishness.
Okay. All
So,
right.
all right. So yeah, this has been the RSB backed by Holy Smoke Barbecue. Holla.